This is it. The marvelous Melba Moore is joining us today to share the best music of her life, which is her new album, Imagine. But before we get there, let's take a little trip down memory lane, because it was actually Melba Moore who starred on Broadway in 1967 in the original cast of Hair, and later went on to win a Tony for her 1970 performance in Pearlie. She has taken Broadway by storm in those years, and now she's even propelled her career across decades in the music industry. She really soared to heights in the 70s and 80s and is continuing today, following her Billboard hits, Grammy nominations, and now a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Let's meet the marvelous Melba Moore.
Okay, got it?
Great.
All right.
Well, Melba Moore, it's a joy to welcome you to unityfirst.com. This is a great day that we're going to be talking about Imagine. So tell me about your new work.
Well, it's an album. That means it's not a video yet, it's audio. A video soon to come, I hope. It's my first of this type family project. My daughter's the executive producer. She and her uncle. I might say my ex-uncle because I'm not married to his brother anymore, but it's kind of like a family reunion in a way because we come together to do this project. That's not exactly how it happened. Over the last, let me see, we've had it together now for about a year, but prior to that, over a period of about 3 or 4 years, she kept bringing me these songs that her uncle Bo Huggins is his name, the other executive producer of Imagine, was bringing to her, telling her that he thought that these songs were good for me. So I said, well, great, honey, but you know, the family's not together. We don't have the management company anymore. We don't have a record company. So what? He said, just listen to them, he said. And she said she liked them too. Make a long story a little bit shorter, after about 10 songs over a period of about 3 or 4 years, we realized we had an album. I wanted to tell you that because we didn't have a concept. We didn't have a budget. We didn't have an executive producer. We didn't have a company. We had no structure. So I don't want it to seem like, you know, we had this wonderful idea. We were so organized and now it's all laid out. No, it's like Black folks do it. Creatively, helter-skelter from the hip, and you realize that God gave you something really, really nice, so take care of it. So I wanted to say it in that spirit because I'm really, really excited and pleased, and I'm grateful because people are accepting it. It may be the best selling album that I've ever had, because it may be the best that I've ever had, because it's not a record company, it's not mine. It's really an effort of love, and just want you to have this because I think the song is great for you. That's the spirit of it. And it's full of message songs. That's really kind of my middle name, you know, try to inspire as I go. Yes. And that's the spirit of the album, Imagine. And the song Imagine, some of the lyrics are like this: a place of hope, a place of peace, imagine of a place of hope, a place of love. Imagine if every street was filled with peace.
Yes.
And that's the message of the song Imagine and the whole album. But that song, when people listen to it, they're going to hear this beautiful instrumental arrangement that sets you up. So you don't even care who's singing it by the time, you know, I get the privilege of telling you this because you let me on your show. But when you listen to the music is so beautiful. You don't care who's singing it. I'm giving you my sales pitch now, because by the time you listen to it, hopefully you just love it. You won't care that it's whoever it is, because it's this wonderful guitar. It sounds like you're in Brazil or somewhere.
Well, it sounds like it really meant a lot to you, and, you know, to make this. And what really inspired you to make it?
Well, I was saying to you, my daughter kept bringing me these songs, And of course, I love her, but I've never worked with her. This will be the first time that I've actually worked with her. And she's worked in the industry for several different record companies and film companies. But she's really never like spearheaded a recording project. But
Yeah.
she's been brought up in the industry. She was raised in it. She just never chose to do that particular thing. So she's well aware of what it takes. And so now what we do is with her uncle, with my ex-husband, actually, because he's working with his brother. He's not working with me, but we didn't get that far yet. But he's working with his brother, um, so that the expertise is there to support her and launch her into her next vocation.
Yes, and it seems like the themes, and talk a little bit about that, when you think of love, think about your journey in life.
Okay.
How is some of this mirror, where you are today? You've certainly had a lot of life experiences, up, down, and around, but how does this really capture some of that?
You forgot under.
Okay.
That's very important because I'm saying to you, okay, vocation, calling, profession, recording, music is mine. What if this turns out to be the biggest and best album I've ever had? Then I'm telling you now, and it's kind of hard to kind of take it all in, but what if it starts to materialize, manifest as that? And this becomes as big as something like the Beatles or something. Then I don't know how to express it. I've never had that kind of success, but if I did it, I were to imagine it, I would have another whole platform, and people would be receiving me. And what's already starting to happen, for instance, I don't. It's not because of recording. It's because of my life, because God is the head of my life. I'm going to get the President Biden's Lifetime Achievement Award, and I'm going to have. It's just been told to me in 2023, I'm going to have a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. That's permanent. I'm getting calls from all over the place because people are really impressed with that. I'm telling you how I feel about it. What happens if the whole world gets like that?
That's it. Well, I think you are not only inspiring people to really imagine in a time that we need imagining. But you're imagining, just the success in your own life. And it's come through all of the hills and valleys that you've traveled. And if you could think back to some of your toughest moments, that now that you're really living to imagine this wonderful, infectious, album that will touch people's hearts. But what were some of those moments that got you here?
Well, I've lost my career several times. And right at the beginning of it, I had this incredible romance with Clifton Davis. He went on from being in the chorus of Hello Dolly, which then starred Pearl Bailey. There were no Black people on Broadway. And Miss Pearl comes and takes Barbara Streisand's place. Look what a time that was. We had our own TV show, but neither one of us even had agents. We were just kind of going by the seat of our pants and opportunities that God was putting in front of us. So naturally, we couldn't manage it. So we lost the relationship. So we lost the TV show. He fell into some very serious challenges, left the industry, but he's now a minister. I lost my career at least 3 or 4 times, but I'm becoming known as the comeback kid. I'm back again. And of course, as this has happened, the music industry, the freedom of Black people, it's very diverse. The world, Main Street is now the internet. Mm-hmm. And so as I've been kicked around and knocked around, God keeps putting me in the next platform or the next thing that he's doing. Along with everybody else, we all got to make the adjustments. But I don't say that I land on my feet. I don't. I land on my behind. But I know real well how to get up. Stay flexible so you can get up. So he keeps picking me back up. So it looks as though by the time I get in front of the camera, it looks as though I landed on my feet, because I'm still standing.
Yes. Well, and I really commend you for making that point around the fact that we have to keep reimagining who we are. And if we don't have that imagination to understand, even for you, you wouldn't imagine you would be here in this way right now. But and what advice can you give to a lot of young people who are trying to find their lives? Particularly, it could be in the entertainment business or otherwise, just like you speak of your daughter, to say, stay the course, stay the course.
And well, one of the main courses is one of the things that kept entertainers and Black people slaves is it was purposely kept from us. The importance of finance in everything. If you go and babysit, you're going to have to get paid. If there's no pay, you don't. That's why they call it making a living. If you don't get paid, you can't live. So even if you're a child now and you're watching me and you don't understand what I'm saying, one of these days your mother's going to send you to the store and she's going to pay you. That's a budget, starting from the most minute thing. And if you want to get, there are other areas of it. If you want to get into this industry, maybe you might not even stay, but you want to sing, don't worry about if you can sing well. Why? Because singing is good for you. It's healing. Just sing, all right? I'm gonna start you where everybody can start. And then if you have a beautiful voice, if you have a good voice, if you have parents, because sometimes we don't have parents, ask someone around you where you can go sing for somebody to see if you have a voice. I was starting at the very, very beginning. Get some advice, start listening to other people, and we do that better when we're small because we're used to taking orders. And if you're not small and you're grown, maybe think you're too old, God says you can come into my kingdom if you're like a child. Put your ego away, put your shame away. Maybe you've been hurt a lot, and maybe you have a reason to be, kind of gun shy. Try to trust Jesus, be still, be calm, and go ask somebody, do you think I have a voice? If they say no, don't be upset. Keep singing, but see what else you can do. And just you said it, stay the course, keep searching, keep looking. If you are at a point where maybe you're in junior high school or something like that, ask your teachers. Some of the schools still have music, I hope, in the schools because it's so important for many things. But if you don't have that, then ask your teacher, where can you go and take some voice lessons? Y'all got the internet. Y'all know how to Google everything. You can find anything you want. If you got a question, go ask questions. Go on the internet and ask questions. I don't know all the things that you might have on your heart and your spirit. Start asking questions. So I don't know what to anticipate to tell you, except ask questions. But then be quiet and listen to the answer. Yeah. I just say that because I'm around some people, they're good leaders. And in some cases, they don't know that they're leaders. So they keep leading. But it's a two-way street. You can't lead with any wisdom if you don't listen.
That's it. Yeah.
So all of us usually can do a better job of learning how to listen better. So I would start with those things.
Yes, that's wonderful, and that's great advice. And just tell me, with your parents, what did you really listen to that you see has really rung true from things that they shared with you?
Well, first of all, and I speak to people who didn't have parents in the beginning. My family, like many, many, many millions of families, especially Black people, because we came here as slaves. We didn't come here, we were brought here. We didn't even do that on our own, okay? So the family was broken, and I was born to a single mother. She was a singer then, so she had the dream to be a singer. So I know it's in my DNA, and I listened to that. But she was away all the time, so she was trying to take care of my grandmother who had strokes. So she couldn't walk well. I helped to take care of her. That's very important. Take care of people. God will reward you with a certain type of wisdom that you have too. If you are a child and you help to comb your grandmother's hair and help her to walk and help her to use the bedpan and take care of her, that gives you a certain spirit of mercy, I think. And the lady who took care of me is what we used to call, I don't know if we still do, a nanny. That means somebody that's not a part of the family that you actually hire to help take care of the family. Now, my nanny was orphaned, illiterate, and a domestic, but she was also she was passed from sharecropper to sharecropper. For folks who don't know, a sharecropper don't own the farm, but she was definitely country. But I say, I'm looking back now at what happened to me, and I'm skipping a little bit because I know I don't have time to tell it all. But by the time I went through all of the different stages, it got me to the point where I was trying to learn how to audition because I'm still trying to learn. I think that's the lesson I learned. Keep trying to learn. Even if you're awkward and you make mistakes and you think you fail, you're going to get something that's very, very precious. I was trying to learn how to audition. One of the girls who was in the chorus of the first Broadway show that I did, which was the Broadway musical Hair, told me about auditions for Pearlie. Now, Pearlie was about an orphan, illiterate domestic who was raised by sharecroppers. That's me. Excuse me, that's God. So I got a Tony Award because people thought I knew how to act.
It is, to me, amazing the synergy in your story and the synergy in what you have done over life from all of the songs, you know, from the stage, from Broadway. And just tell me, what are some of the songs?
I think to now, we were talking about Imagine, but go ahead. What's your thought?
Yes. No, as we are imagining this wonderful journey that you have, I think all of your steps have been ordered, you know, to bring you to now. And any key songs you feel that are important to you?
Because you said you asked me, what did my parents teach me? Well, first of all, my mother married an incredible person. So I then had a father. You don't know how shocked I was when my stepfather sat me down, looked in my eyes with love, and told me I couldn't keep beating up my brother because you have to learn how to speak. You don't fight it. But my uncles who came in and out, and whatever, they wouldn't let me in the house unless I beat somebody up. So now my mother's not, she's there. She's the wife. She's the mother now. She has a husband. She has a cover. She has a family. So I have sisters and brothers. Okay. But trying to get to the main point. Then, of course, my stepfather was a piano player and she was a singer. So now they work together. So before, there was no music in my house. I didn't even know I could sing. There was nobody there to tell me that I had a nice voice or anything. I had to teach my nanny how to read. So she couldn't teach me nothing. I mean, it's not funny, but I'm a jokester. I had a sister and a brother, then sister and three brothers eventually. I'm trying to capsule it. And we all took piano lessons. So now we've become studying musicians, intimately acquainted with an instrument. So now you sit down for hours and you have this soaking into you. My piano teacher was Emery Lucas, incredible, wonderful teacher and philosopher. So you're having all of this. I'm telling you, you've got to practice. And I thought I was going to be a piano player. But in other words, I became inspired with discipline of music. And my mother and father's band would rehearse in the house and all of that. And we would go on their jobs and stuff like that. And so as I grew, as we all grew and became musicians, my brother, he's passed away, but he became a prolific pianist and teacher on the music in the university level. But I remember my mother saying to me, I don't care how good you sing, if you don't move people's hearts, it doesn't matter. And they sang in small clubs, or pubs, I guess you might call them. And unlike most Black people, when my mother came from the South, but she moved up to New York to try to take care of our family. But my stepfather is, I don't know how many generations he was of Newark, New Jersey. So they were not the traditional Blacks. And all of the people that they worked for were like Germans, Italians, a lot of, mafia people. So all of our extended family was white. I guess I was born crossover. You asking me the question just allows me to kind of think of, why do I speak the way that I do? Why? What is my culture? And one great thing, I do adopt people as my family.
Yes.
But to kind of see, because you asked the question where it came from, it's kind of enjoyable.
Yes. Well, tell us, with the wonderful new album, what songs can we really look forward to hearing?
Oh, well, I want you to first listen to So in Love, because to begin the album out, if you haven't heard anything else before, when you listen to this, it's sweet. It's the best, smooth, funky, sophisticated R&B you ever want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
It's got the boom boom.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, before you get to the voice of it, the lead, you're already in love.
Good.
You're already, in all wonderful, sweet moods. And the young lady who wrote it, Chantel Hampton, is singing the backups, and you hear my voice meshing with hers. She makes me sound sexy.
Yeah.
So it's very, very, very sexy. It's very sensual.
Mm-hmm.
But the way God meant it to be, still respectful.
Yes. And that's.
I want you to pay attention to that, because that's the first one, and it really sets you up.
Yeah.
For what after that, I'm gonna let the listener just go from song to song to song to song to song.
Yes, and it sounds like this is a really music for all ages. You could be sensual at all ages. You can really bring that into your experience. So I just
and if you're not sexual, you can still be sensual.
Yes.
You can remember fondly what it was, or you may have friends or family members that are romantic. You may be grandparents now, so you want to be at the wedding or encourage them to get married.
Yes, and this is good because we have people of all ages, spaces, generations that can really enjoy, and everybody enjoys love. So I think if that's a lot about imagining what you're going to put out there, we're looking forward to hearing it. And I just want to thank you for your work and your legacy. And
thank you for articulating it so well. You're such a wonderful journalist. I have all the emotions, but then you translate it so people can really unpack it and see what they can get from it. That's the importance of it, that they get it.
Yes, and I can't wait for people to really embrace it. And like you say, we want everyone around the world to really hear the message you're sending, because it comes with the ordered steps from your early years.
I would also just let people know that my life is concluded. So the album includes gospel, a little sassy jazz, like Take Her Picture Down, I'm in Your House. Mm-hmm. So put my picture up on your wall. Mm-hmm. My lover. And there's a couple of songs on there that sound very kind of maybe Barbra Streisand or theatrical, that are saying, you've been here all my career, on Broadway lights, wherever I was, you've been with me. Thank you so much. I'm not a diva. I don't know about all that, but I do know one thing. If it wasn't for all of you, I wouldn't be here. So I definitely want to bring your attention to that and listen to that with my love.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today, and we look forward to enjoying Imagine.
Thank you so much.